What you are watching right now is me unlocking Jabba the Hutt free-to-play at exactly 1 year on my free-to-play account. Unbelievable, amazing stuff. We know how long it takes to rush Jabba the Hutt right now. It's 1 year. But invariably, as you go on these farms, as you take journeys in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes or in life, you're going to make mistakes. So we're going to talk about those mistakes right now, and I'm going to call some of them mistakes because generally speaking, the journey and the path for this Jabba the Hutt rush account proceeded exactly as I had foreseen it. Everything proceeded exactly as foreseen. Anyway, but there's always value in looking back at where you've been and how you got there and some of the things you could have tightened up or done differently along the way. Even if you don't think you would have done them differently, maybe somebody else behind you can do them differently. So let's take a look at some of the mistakes I've made recently. And I should say, before we get going here, I definitely have other videos out there for mistakes that were made. We'll put a link to at least one of those out there. But these are the mistakes that I've made in the last year on my free-to-play Jabba the Hutt journey. Well, greetings and hello there, everybody. It's me, your beloved Star Wars dad, Nooch Too Good. I'm recording this before what you just saw. So my intro, I've got Jabba unlocked. He's there. I did it at 1 year, 1 day. We did it live stream. We've got Jabba unlocked, but let's talk about these mistakes that we made along the way. It's really good to look back at the journey and understand what happened, what got you here. And I may be re-saying all of this. I don't know. The intro's not there yet. I'm recording this earlier than what you just saw. How about them apples? I have a first mistake, accidental purchases. A couple of things here. Now, you guys know I manage multiple accounts, and I log into the Galaxy of Heroes web store every single day on those multiple accounts, and I will confess that I gotta click down here. I'll confess that on one of those occasions, I accidentally purchased, and I talked about this at the time, so I wasn't hiding it, but I accidentally purchased one of these Chirotech packs, and it was last, I don't know, September, October, something like that. And I accidentally purchased a Chirotech, so I got myself 50 extra Chirotechs. Now, has that really impacted the farming? Honestly, at this point, I would say no. It'll impact me as far as I'll be able to gear up my Jabba to gear 12 and relic levels maybe a couple days earlier. But you know, these Chirotechs, you farm them anyway, so. Yeah, I don't think I got to Jabba any quicker than I would have gotten to Jabba otherwise. Maybe a little bit, I guess. I don't know, but your farming. Anyway, it was an accident. I was just going through purchasing, but I didn't realize I was on my Jabba account. I purchased it. I was gonna have Capital Games cancel it, but then I actually came in game. And you know when you go into game and your message is open, you go boom 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 boom. I actually did that and went right through it and accepted the purchase. And once you accept the purchase, Capital Games will not refund it. So. Yeah, that's a mistake I made. That is a mistake, actually. The other thing I did here, and I've done this, I think I've done this a couple of times. I came into featured shipments, and I know that I bought, like, shards of characters here. And I don't know which ones they are. I can't remember, but I remember doing this once or twice where I'm just going bloop, 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 and I'm going through and buying these. And then somebody distracts me. Oh, hey, how's it going? Good, good. What the dog? The dog puked? Oh, okay. Bloop, bloop, crystals, done. I know I've spent I've probably done 1,280 crystals of these purchases, so just be careful when you're clicking through and somebody distracts you. Make sure you come back in. Don't spend those crystals. Yeah, I could have gotten in touch with Capital Games to try to get them refunded. I don't know. I didn't do it. So, accidental purchases is going to be my first mistake that I made on this account. Just be careful with what you're doing when you're logging into the web store or anywhere else and the purchases that you're making. Missing activities. Hey, again, I've been managing 3 or 4 accounts throughout this entire year that I've done Jabba. At different points, I've had 3 or 4 accounts going on. And there are times when I did not sign up for, I think I missed 1 Grand Arena sign up. Now that I go back, there was at least 1 Grand Arena sign up. I remember missing it. I did not even sign up for it because I got my other account signed up. I thought I was good, but I didn't. I've also been in, and we're in Territory Wars right now. I definitely more than once, I've gone into Territory Wars, forgot to set a defense, and I had no teams that I could win with on offense, so I was stuck there. You see, I've got my defense set right now. I'm at number 16, so I'm setting defense now, but I definitely have gone into territory wars and forgot to set defense and then didn't have anything to fight on offense and did not get the rewards out of that. That's happened more than once on this account. So just make sure you're doing your activities, you know, your guild activities. You sign up for it, go in there, place defense. It actually hurts the guild when you do that. When you don't place that stuff, it puts more of a burden on other guild members, and it definitely hurts you for sure. So make sure you're doing that. Sign up for every Grand Arena, sign up for Territory Wars, participate, do your activities. And also, this has happened numerous times when I get my refreshes for energy down here. I've definitely missed a bunch. I've absolutely missed a bunch of these. It's just a matter of managing 3 accounts or 4 accounts at different times. I say this all the time. I reached a point in the game 3 years ago where I just said, I'm not going to do stuff if it's not fun. I'm not going to sneak out from being at a restaurant to go to the bathroom just to get my daily activity, just to click on my energy and make sure I don't do that stuff anymore. I have done that stuff. Yeah, I have snuck out to the bathroom to do my territory war battle when I was in a high level guild. I've definitely done that before. I'm not saying it's okay, and I'm not saying it's an activity anybody should participate in, but I don't do that anymore. So if I'm out with the family, or I'm on a date with my wife, we take a day, we go to town, we're shopping, my favorite activity. We're shopping, we're seeing a movie, we're eating, whatever. You know, maybe when she goes to the bathroom, maybe then I'll do my dailies. But honestly, if I miss it on those days, I'm not sweating it. And this account is on my iPad, so my iPad does not have mobile data. I guess I could have it with a hotspot and do it, but no. I'm not carrying my iPad with me around to my date with my wife or out with the family and pulling it out, establishing a hotspot, doing my. I definitely miss some energy. So you could probably move faster, make up a little ground that I didn't make up. Maybe it makes up for those chirotecs. I don't know. With me not refreshing energy. I don't know how many times I did it. It was a bunch. Not a consistent thing, but it was probably at least 2 or 3 times a month where I would miss energy on some level. Maybe even more than that. I'm not sure. So definitely missing activities would be number 2 on the list. Here's a mistake, and I'm going to call this one a mistake for sure because this account, as I'm sure I stated in the intro, I have largely progressed in this account exactly as I saw fit. This is my 3rd time I've rushed to Galactic Legend, Kylo, Sith Eternal, and Jabba, and I fully understand I'm going to leave some things on the back burner as I go through it. So I'm going to call this a mistake of not farming Beskar Mando and the Razor Crest for my fleet arena. But if I had done it, if I had farmed Beskar Mando and the Razor Crest, I really think I would not be at number 52. Right, I quite literally have been stuck at like 52 or 53 for like a month plus now, and I've been in and out of that top 50 ever since my account launched. And I know when I launched the account, I got a good draw. I was like at number 100, so I was in the top 20 for like a week or 2 or something, getting crystals. Then I dropped out. I definitely farmed my bounty hunter ships. If you look at my fleet right now, this is the fleet I go in with. I definitely farmed my bounty hunter ships to get the Millennium Falcon because I needed it to get Jedi Knight Luke, because I needed that to get Jabba, right? So I feel like if I had taken one extra farm, and if I had farmed for the Scoundrels for Beskar Mando, and farmed Beskar Mando, and activated my Razor Crest, because I did grab the Razor Crest charge along the way because I wanted to duplicate that experience. But if you look down here at my IG-11 is clearly not ready. Mando is at 95.65. They gave us some shards a while ago. Grief, Queel, Cara Dune, they're just not ready. I do feel like if I had taken the time to farm these guys and activated the Razor Crest, let's go look at it here. I got 332 shards of the Razor Crest. If I had added the Razor Crest with like and the tough part about Beskar Mando is he requires 500 Chirotex, so even getting him 2 Gear 12 would cost me 400 Chirotex, so that would have been a good investment. But the trade-off for that investment is I feel like I would definitely be in the top 50 of Fleet Arena right now, even with all the negotiators up there. You can see that in my where am I with Fleet Arena? Yeah, right now I'm having trouble getting over these Chimera fleets because Chimera is better than my ships. And even then, you know, they got a Relic Bosk. I have a Gear 12 Bosk. That might be, you can kind of throw that in with the Beskar Mando bit there, is maybe relic boss, maybe I've got a relic Boba Fett, you know, for my slave 1. Maybe relic boss, maybe relic Cad Bane, or take him to gear 12 to really focus on my, that was not my boss, by the way, to really focus on fleet arena and make sure I'm getting crystals every day. If you think of 50 crystals a day over the course of, I'm sure I've been 330 days. 50 times 330, I mean, that's, is it 1,500 or 15,000? 330 it's 15,000. And I've had days where I've gotten it, so I'm going to say I probably could have gotten an extra 12,000 crystals if I had done that. I just think having Razor Crest in my starting lineup would have been much better off with even with the Executrix. I would have done the good thing. So not farming the Razor Crest, I think, is a mistake, and yeah, would have helped me. And a little bit of investment up front for that would have got me a bunch of extra crystals, which might have made up for the time difference, and I might have gotten here in a similar or same amount of time. Hey, how about farming for the raid? While I did end up with a bunch of characters that work in the Endor raid, you know, it's all about Rebels, it's all about Imperial Troopers, and you see, I got Jedi Knight Luke, he's in there, I've got Han Solo's in there, 3PO's in there, if we go down a little bit, I've got the Ewoks up there for 3PO, I've got Rebel Officer Leia Organa and Captain Han Solo. Are they in there? I don't think they are in that Endor raid, actually. Lando is in there, I've got some Imperial Troopers, so I've got characters that fit into the Endor raid. Completely accidental. You know, we started off with the, when this account started, we were in the Crate Dragon raid, and I didn't farm any characters for that either. My guild was, I think at the time, when I joined my guild, actually, now I'm gonna go back up a little bit here. When I joined my guild, we were doing the Heroic Sith raid tier 6. So, as I back up on that, we weren't really ready for that Crate Dragon raid, but it doesn't take long for your guild to get to where you're doing the new raids. They've made the new raids accessible for a lot of guilds along the way. So if your guild's going to be doing, you know, we know we've got the Naboo raid coming up. You really want to farm some characters for that Naboo raid. Now, we don't know what those characters are yet. They have a pretty good idea. They're going to be Galactic Republic, Gungans, Separatists. Those are going to be the kind of characters. So when they announce that stuff, you definitely want to have some characters that do fit into that raid, whatever the raid is you're doing. If your guild's doing the Heroic Sith raids, great, farm a team for that, but you won't be doing that long. If you're doing Heroic Sith raid, you're not all that far off from doing the upgraded raids, whatever they are at the time. I did not farm for this raid. I was lucky that a lot of my characters fell into the raid and qualified for it, so that was kind of a accidental good fortune. But if you're farming Jabba starting today, you're going to be at a handicap when that Galactic Republic raid comes around, so just be aware of that. And just generally speaking, in the future, there'll be more raids, you know what I'm saying. Assault battles. It's kind of a fortuitous, and I'm recording this on the day that we have, what is it, Military Might Assault Battle right here. So you can see Military Might, this is Rebels, right? Required units is my CLS team. Well, I got my CLS team farmed, and I actually did this. I maxed out tier 3 with my gear 11 Chupio, so I was pretty proud of that. And you can see here, that's all maxed out. This one is done. This is the only assault battle that I've got done. I think I was able to get, not quite, I couldn't get challenge tier 1 done. I got the mythic tier done with my Imperial Troopers on the Rebel Roundup and also Endor Escalation, whatever it's called. Believe it or not, my Imperial Troopers were able to get through that mythic tier, and they're nothing to get excited about, right? So I planned it this way. I did it this way. It's a mistake, but I did on purpose. I do feel like if I geared up Stark and Veers to gear 12, I may have been able to get through challenge tier 1 of those assault battles. But here's the thing. Piet, Gideon, Dark Troopers, since those are my investments with Imperial Troopers here at the beginning, these guys all require a bunch of Chirotechs. Where are they here? Here's Chirotechs for Piet right there. And over here you can see Gideon with some Chirotechs. And you're going to see Dark Trooper with some Chirotechs required. So I actually didn't invest in these characters because I needed all the Chirotechs for my Jabba farming. But that cost me in the long run. I did not get those assault battles. You know, those assault... Now, 20 Chirotechs every month? 40 Chirotechs every month for those 2 assault battles that I would have gotten for challenge tier 1. would have been worth the trade-off. Actually, if I could have flipped over instead of these guys, I could have pulled Gideon and Dark Trooper out of it, and I could have probably put Stormtrooper and Snowtrooper in there. I probably could have done those guys with Veers, Piet, and Colonel Stark and gotten through Challenge Tier 1 and gotten my Kyrotex every month. And I think that would have been a good investment for 2 different assault battles to get through Challenge Tier 1 and get those Kyrotex. It would have required some Kyrotech investment in Piet, but the rest of them could have been a Gear 12. I could have had a Gear 12 Veers, Stark, Snowtrooper, Stormtrooper, and I could have taken Piet to Gear 12 also. Would have taken me some Kyrotech investment in Piet, but I would have actually come out to the positive by getting to Challenge Tier 1 in those 2 assault battles with my Imperial Troopers. And that's not to mention other assault battles as well that you could have farmed, but that's what I really think of because I had these Imperial Troopers and I did not gear them up to get ready for those assault battles. So you don't do it without investing a bunch of Kyrotex. Don't do Dark Trooper and Moff Gideon. Do it with the cheaper ones like Snowtrooper, Stormtrooper, easily available for you. Ranged Magma Troopers easily available. Range Trooper's not quite as easily available, but he would be another. Well, Range Trooper might put you into Challenge Tier 2 as well at Gear 12. Range Trooper is that good. He elevates you for those assault battles for sure. Another mistake, Savage Opress. It seems crazy to say that one character on my roster is a mistake to not have that character, but it was a mistake to not have this one character. When I look at Savage Opress, he is a character like Wampa that early in the game can solo a bunch of teams in Grand Arena for you. You gotta apply his Zeta, you gotta apply his Omicron, but I've got them. I've got those available right now. And I did not farm Savage Opress. Now I could, in theory, I could probably do it right now. I could probably take him to level, in fact, I could take him to level 85 right now. Boom, I got a bunch of credits. I could gear him up to Gear 12 right now. I don't know if I can after I do Jabba. So I'm working on Jabba. So I don't want to do any of this right now. I want to save all my gear for Jabba to make sure. But once you get to Brute down here, and you add the Zeta, and you add the Omicron, he is a solo artist in Grand Arena, especially down in Carbonite and Bronzium and Chromium. He's going to get stuff done by himself. And then he's going to lead into you farming Traya down the road, put him on a Traya team. It's really something very special in this game to have just below Galactic Legend level, for real. It is an end game team with Traya with her Omicron and Savage Opress with his Omicron that could do some really special stuff in the game. But I really should have gotten Savage Opress and I'll show you I got the Omicron and Zetas available. Let's go up here to Traya, right? Yeah. I've got those Zetas available, and I have we not see it? There you go. 40 Omicrons. Maybe I just showed you that on Savage too. I don't know. I got 40 Omicrons for available. So I could literally do both Traya and Savage and get that full team up and running, honestly, and it would not be a bad investment for me, even at Gear 12 where I am in Grand Arena right now. So Savage Opress is the ticket, the meal ticket there. He can solo teams by himself, and then maybe even Traya down, as well. Probably something I could have invested in earlier. I may have had some better performance. I might be instead of being in, I don't know if I would be. I'm in Bronzium 2 right now. I might put myself in Bronzium 1 or even maybe Chromium 5 with an extra team in Grand Arena. Maybe. It's really tough to measure that because there's so many people that are inactive and stuff. That's you. But yeah, that's him. And probably my biggest mistake, and again, I did this. I planned it. I executed this farming path basically as planned. But when I look at a mistake that really has to be on every account, for real accounts, if you're developing your account for the long term, I have done zero future planning. I have not planned out the future at all on this account. Everything I did was focused on getting myself to Jabba the Hutt as fast as we could. We did it in 1 year and 1 day. But if you look at my roster, everything you see relicked on here is part of the Jabba farm. I don't have Bosk Relic. I don't have Beskar Mando done. I don't have my Imperial Troopers geared up for assault battles. I didn't take Chupio up to Relic levels or even Gear 12. I didn't get a full Jedi. I've got my Qui-Gon Omicron. I didn't do Jedi Anakin to Gear 12 or Relic. I didn't do Grandmaster Yoda to Gear 12 or Relic. I didn't think about other assault battles as well with my Night Sisters or maybe Inquisitor. Inquisitor is a tall ass on a free-to-play farm in the first year, but I didn't do any other assault battles with my Sith or my Jedi. I'm lying about that. I did do Ground War, actually, with, where are they here? Actually, with Jedi Knight Luke in here, I think I did go to tier 3 of Ground War, didn't I? Maybe not tier... Have I done that? I think I did. I think I was able to... I don't remember. Whatever. I got pretty far in Ground War with Jedi Knight Luke. Boy, I'm not really... Why am I not remembering that now? I don't know how far I got in Ground War. Should have tried that out. Anyway, I don't have any future planning. I haven't prepped myself. I haven't prepped myself for the Executor. I farmed some TIE Bomber shards. I farmed some TIE Bomber shards early on, and then I stopped. And it's at 5 stars. Once I got to the point where I was like, man, I can't... I gotta make choices where I spend my energy. I stopped farming TIE Bomber. I should have kept going. If you're planning for the future, you know, these are the things you gotta think about. Farm the TIE Bomber, get the Imperial TIE Fighter done, get ready for Executor, get your Bounty Hunter ships farmed. I got the Bounty Hunter ships farmed, but the Razor Crest is there. If you're farming for other teams as well, get your Assault Battles up. You know, I would have other Relic characters. I should have a full Gear 12 Geonosian team. Well, they're almost Gear... Well, I almost got that for Geo Territory battles, but I did that recently. I should have done that a while ago. I could have a Relic Palpatine to go with my Vader on there. I didn't farm Embo. You know, Embo is a great fit on that final Jabba team and frees up Boba Fett. It's either Boba Fett or Embo, generally speaking. Then you can Boba Fett. Then you give me in comments, Boba Fett. You could put Boba Fett on your boss team or your bounty hunter team. He goes elsewhere and put Embo on that Jabba team. But I didn't farm Embo. I have no shards of Embo farmed because I was rushing to get Jabba. So a lot of future planning and future farming has fallen to the wayside as I push straight into Jabba. And if I had to give one piece of advice to any account, first of all, I don't believe in rushing Galactic Legends. I don't think you should rush straight to a Galactic Legend. It's not the way to go. Work around it. I talk about this in farming guides all the time. Get your Assault Battles up. Get your other teams up and running. Make your Grand Arena look really good. But if you're going to do one thing with your account, you've got to plan 6 months ahead. You've got to be planning 6 months out. It takes 6 months to farm ships from 0 to 7 stars. That's generally why I use that 6-month time frame. You've got to know what's coming up next on your roster, and I don't at this point. And yeah, I'll make a video down the road. We'll talk about what the future would be on this account if I continued it. But zero future planning is the biggest mistake anybody could ever make in this game. It impacts everything, and it hurts your farming, and it hurts you, generally speaking, as a human being in your life. Plan your future, boys and girls. Hey, be flexible, and, plan your work and work your plan, but be flexible along the way, because plans are what people make while God is laughing. That's all I got for today. Have a great one. I'll talk to you soon. Always remember, Nooch too good.